This episode is sponsored in part by PTZ Optics. Why hire a camera operator when the control is in your hands? Visit ptzoptics.com for more information. And by NewTek, makers of the TriCaster TC1. Stun your viewers, not your accountant. Visit newtek.com for more information.
All right, we are live here for game time. And I know I threw you all off, right? There was only like 20 seconds of countdown. Y'all were worried. You thought you were going to get 5 minutes. P-Dubs came on last week. He said, hey, 90 seconds. Well, you know what, P-Dubs? You can take that 90 seconds, turn it sideways, Moat hit the button, and shove it up your candy. We did it for 23 seconds. Joining us as always, we've got Mr. Wild Bill. Nope, retired Wild Bill.
That's right.
It's what?
Just
retired.
Plain old Bill.
Just plain old Bill.
There you go.
Plain old Bill. And then we've got the narcissist of narcissistic, Jayde Shelion.
I am not a crook.
And then we've got the man, the myth, and the mystery, Mr. Michael Lucas. Moat. How you doing, sir?
Power Rangers now is coming to Netflix on April 19th. That is all.
Is that your public service announcement?
Yep, absolutely.
That's a good public service announcement. Well, guys, welcome to the show. We're glad you guys are here. We're gonna have some fun tonight. We got the crew together. We got a lot to talk about tonight, and it's not, believe it or not, if you came to hear Home Arcade minus New Wave Toys, you might as well just leave now because we really don't have anything to talk about with that. So we're going to actually talk about some gaming and game information and news and that kind of cool stuff. I mean, there is an arcade talk. Jayde, you got a segment later on with some actual arcade talk, right?
Coin ops.
Oh, coin ops. Okay. We can talk coin ops.
No, I mean like a coin op arcade.
Yeah, real coin op. Well, we can't necessarily say that now because, and we're going to get to that later with New Wave Toys. New Wave Toys is now doing coin mechs inside their, or some sort of coin mech inside of their system. So, are you guys backing this out? Me and Bill, we had a hard time last week carrying it with the Friday Night Funhouse. That was a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Bill's still.
He's still. Like you guys
I'm still reeling from it.
Yeah, it looked like you guys were having a lot of fun. Actually, I mean, I watched and I was looking at the chat. I remember seeing a lot of the chat saying like, "Thank God Jayde's not there. She's such a bitch."
Wow.
Actually, if you watched this, you saw a lot of this going on. What? I don't know what was up with him. I don't know if he got any sleep or what's going on. But yeah,
he made that big mistake of taking his Mucinex right before the show.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, let's just jump right in here. We've got a make or break for you guys today. I think this will spark a lot of discussion for this segment. Let me know what you guys think in the chat room.
Make or break.
Hey guys, it's time for another make or break. I know we haven't done this segment in quite a while, but we've had a lot of content to put out. And so I wanted to bring this back, and today I wanted to talk about the Virtual Boy. Did Nintendo make or break this console? If you want to call it a console. I think it was the first stab at virtual reality. With the boom of virtual reality that's hitting the scene with the PlayStation VR 2, and now going back in time, looking at the Virtual Boy, did Nintendo make or break this console?
It came from the third dimension with its own brain, its own voice, its own legs. There's only one problem. It needs your eyes. Virtual Boy. See it now in 3D. It came from the third dimension with its own brain, its own voice, its own legs. There's only one problem. It needs your eyes. Virtual Boy. See it now in 3D.
All right, so did Nintendo make or break this console? But before we kind of get into that argument, did anybody in the chat room, did you guys, or even the panel here, did any of you guys own this growing up?
Yes.
Yes.
My brother did.
Your brother did?
Yeah.
Did he keep it long?
He actually broke it.
I guess not for long.
Sad pandas.
I mean, it was okay. It's all red and black and stuff. Literally, I think I tested it out. I played for like 14 minutes and then 15 minutes, and then I went back to playing X-Men on the Sega Genesis. So, whatever. It's I guess in hindsight now, I guess wish I had one for like a collection's sake. But
yeah,
nah, they broke that one. That's a hard pass, honestly.
Yeah.
Gunther says he wants to see Master System. That's coming later. It's coming later. Jade, you had one. What happened to it?
Oh my God. Well, that was the one that I sold before I joined the military. And I really wish I wouldn't have, but I got it on clearance at Best Buy, obviously brand new for $30, and I got like 4 games because they were like $5 each or something. And then I got a ton of games like off of eBay in bulk, and I had probably, I think, like 85% of the library, and including like some cool imports. And yeah, I mean, I was joining the military, so I ended up selling it, and I really wish I wouldn't have done that. Like Wario Land, I loved that game, and there was something like Juicy, like that 32-bit Juicy sprite style, even though it was only in black and red. But anyways, I don't know. There was things about it that I really liked, and things that I didn't like, and then there was just something cool about it because it was so different. But I ended up selling it, and I definitely would say that Nintendo broke that one. So it's a definite break on Nintendo's part.
Moat, before we get to Bill, was it a make or break?
It's a break. Like it was nice to see a glimpse into the future. Like, oh, this is possible. This could be something that's cool. But except for like the boxing game and VR tennis, everything else was just in Wario Land. Everything else was just kind of, it was missable for me. So it's a break.
Bill, did you have it growing up, or anybody?
No, that was not one that I had. I worked at KB Toys back then, so I probably saw it. I don't know if I ever actually. I may have even played it like once or twice. I mean, God, you want to talk about getting a headache playing VR now? Jeez, that thing could give you a headache in about 30 seconds. First off, definitely a break, because it didn't go anywhere near where they hoped it would. I don't even think it was the original concept. I don't think had it on like that little tripod where you had to like just put your face in it. You were actually supposed to wear it like VR goggles, and they just couldn't get that to work. And maybe somebody in the chat.
It was very heavy.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, because it was too heavy. There was no way you could wear it. And I think somebody can correct me in the chat on this one if you know, but I think if I remember reading correctly, it was actually designed and developed by the same person who actually came up with Game Boy. And it was really like a what have you done for me lately, Nintendo, because I think he almost lost his job over that after coming up with something as successful as Game Boy. To then come up with that, was like, you're done.
But let me ask you guys something. Do you think it failed because Nintendo did it, or do you think it was just kind of like the Dreamcast was a little bit before its time? Like it had potential if Nintendo would have put a little bit more time and research into it? Or do you just think it was... I never played it except for the demo in KB Toys. To this day, I want it.
Like the lack of... The fact that it was in black and white was like one of the things that killed it. I mean, sorry, black and red was one of the things that killed it.
Right.
And like if it would have been in color, I think it would have had more dimension and it would have been a little bit more attractive or interesting. But I think that that's definitely one of the things. And that was like a weird time frame when you think about it for Nintendo, because that was like the transition between SNES and, then there was PSX was out, and then I think Nintendo 64 was also out at that time, if I'm not mistaken, or at least when they were getting rid of those, or maybe it was right before. But it was in this like weird transitional period, and it seemed so experimental. Like even now looking at it, it seemed just like very trivial and like risky to do something like that. I think if it would have been in color though, it would have been more successful.
So
yeah, I think you're looking at like around the same time that VR was becoming kind of a buzzy thing. You had movies like Lawnmower Man,
that's what
and
I
all
was
that stuff
gonna say.
coming out around that. So they would, they were trying to jump in on that, but the technology was nowhere near ready.
Yeah,
And
the
this obviously
holograms.
showed.
Matt Astra's
Well, like
gaming
the
saying that,
arcades.
the holograms were big back then. If you remember, we even
Yes.
had like hologram stickers that you could get at the roller rink, right? Out of the like I've got a few WWE ones like that. I've like Undertaker and I think Yokozuna. But holograms, it was all the rage, right? So I think
Right. Well, like you had the games like Time Traveler in the arcade. That was
yes,
like a faux hologram Laserdisc game.
like I never had any interest in it when I was a kid growing up. And I could have bought it for $35 on clearance. My parents were like, that's why it's on clearance, because nobody wants it. You didn't think about collecting at the time. Now I wish I did buy it, because I would have kept it in the box. And as a collector now, complete in box, these things are like $500. And I'm looking to try to get my hands on
more
it.
than that, I think. That's crazy, though, yeah.
Well, it depends what it comes with.
You get them.
Yeah, it depends what it comes with,
Yeah.
how good the box is, if you get all the manuals. If it has everything, even the inserts in it,
like
you're looking at like
one-
$900.
Wow, that's
For
crazy.
it. Yeah, it's insane. That's why I don't have it yet. But
Let's see. Oh, wait,
You can get
wait,
a
wait,
PSVR
wait,
2 for
what?
less than that.
right.
But I mean but that's newer though. But I mean the thing with back in the day, it's Nintendo being Nintendo
Oh my
jumping
God,
the
you
shark
guys,
for every
wait,
time
wait.
that every time that Nintendo
There's a Japanese.
Uh-oh. What?
You just interrupted Moat. He was in the middle
Sorry.
of
no,
his
I'm
thought.
gonna let her finish. Go ahead. What you're good.
That was like a Scoldy. Okay. Anyways, there's a $380 Virtual Boy on eBay, complete in box. It's just Japanese. That's actually really good.
It's probably a knockoff. Go ahead, Moat.
I was just gonna say, with every success that Nintendo's had, there's always been like 10 failures. People always forget that they were a toy company, and yeah, we're talking about the Virtual Boy now, but remember, they sold millions of kits of cardboard. Nintendo Labo.
That's
Everyone
true.
remembers that, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
So I mean, like it's always Nintendo
Yes.
doing something out the side of the wall just to be like, well,
That
it's
is
us. We can get
Right.
away with it. So.
Oh, you want VR? Here, slap a switch to the front of your face with this cardboard
Exactly.
box. There you
Yeah.
go.
that's
We
true.
give you VR.
I forgot
Shut up.
about that. My kid wanted that card. I'm like, you're not getting no cardboard. Well, I'll cut you something out. I'll find the things online and make it.
Right.
But I did want to kind of put this out there. So we're all saying it's a break. The chat room says it's a break. I got a message 2 weeks ago from a gentleman named Steve Sales, and he big fan of the show. But
He's in the chat, I think.
What's that?
He's in the chat, I think.
Is he in the chat?
Yeah.
He wanted to show off because I was talking about out there about game rooms and things like that. Now I want to put this out to anybody. You guys can hit any one of us up. Send us some pictures of your game room. He wanted to show off his unique game room. So he sent me a bunch of pictures here. So I kind of wanted to share this with you guys and see what your thoughts were, and even folks in the chat room. I thought it was a very unique arcade, and if he's in here, he can kind of add commentary to it. But he has a lot of really cool, unique things in here, and this what you're looking at is an actual seats from the Philadelphia Phillies.
Okay, that's awesome.
Wow.
Ballpark.
Oakland.
I want to say this was before. Correct me if I'm wrong, Steve. This is from the original ballpark in the 90s, right? This isn't from current Citizens Bank Park, right? This is from. Let's see what he says. But this is the original. These are the original seats, which I thought was cool. Like, who has this in their game room? But this is pretty sweet. So we'll wait for his chat on there. But he also has a bunch of these, right? We've all had a bunch of these. I have the football.
Oh yeah.
He's a big sports nut. So Veterans Stadium. So there you go, Mo. That was back at Veterans Stadium. He had that, the original. And then he has a little sign on the door, Pinball Zone, and then he's got some other posters and pictures, and then
That's great.
he's got some cabs in here. He's got some one-up. It looks like he has an all-in-one over there as well. Let's see here, another shot of that. Let's see what else he's got over here. Another shot. He's got a bunch of those countercades. Starting soon. Yeah, there you can see he was watching one of my Saturday shows, but he's taking the pictures there. Caught red-handed. Let's see what else he's got here. So he's got the World Series trophy.
Wow.
Oh, that's
cool. Pretty epic. And I think those are rings there, Steve. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're actual rings. He's
from the Oakland A's. Yeah. Holy crap.
Yeah.
How do you get those?
So again,
Auctions.
this might be something like, listen, guys, if you want to send pictures, and we'd love to show it, but if you could send me a 2 to 3 minute, even if you don't want to get on camera, an audio of explaining this would be great, because I think the viewers would love to see it. And then he's got some countercades here as well. But I wanted to kind of do something a little different and kind of show. And he was really gracious. He's like, hey, yeah, I got some pictures I'll send you. And we did that. Yeah, console fanboy. Yeah, if you want to send pictures of your game room, we'll show them next week. If you guys want to send pictures, send them on Twitter. Any of the social medias that you can find any of us. I mean, you guys okay with that if they send them to you too, like Moat and Bill? If they,
absolutely.
Moat's oh, I thought you were saying no, don't send them to me.
No. I don't have a preference. I don't have a preference.
I think it would be cool to see people's game rooms, right? As a little segment on the show here, and
yeah.
I thought that was really cool. But so if you have any questions on it, Steve, he's in the chat room there. You guys can ask him. And I apologize that I didn't have all the information, but he said those are my World Series rings from 1988, 89, 90. I was the team stitcher for the A's from the 1988 to the 2003 regime.
That's
nice.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So there you go, Jade. That's how he got the rings. He was this.
So those are like legit his rings for being a part of the team.
I guess,
very
yeah.
Cool. Well, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that. As long as you're a part of the team, any part of the team,
I guess
you got a ring. That's actually really, really cool.
Yeah. So I mean, you see a lot of people with like video game memorabilia in their game rooms. I think I only have one sports thing in my game room, and they're autographed. It's an autographed Emmitt Smith second year card. He only signed 2,000 of them. And I have one. It was a Pro Set card that I had gotten. I traded to get this from this kid that opened it up. I was there when he opened it. It was only worth $200 at the time, but as a Cowboys fan, I wanted it, and I have another real expensive Troy Aikman medalist. They call it a medalist card, where it's an actual metal card. So I have them in like a plaque. So that's the only thing in my game room that I have sports-wise, I think. Trying to think. Besides like games, obviously. But that was really cool. Trip down memory lane. Water play. Also want to bring attention to, if you guys didn't get to see it, right before this show at 8 p.m. Eastern, I think it's 7 Central, Old School Gamer Live. Every week they've got some new guests. And I'm actually going to be helping them next week on Saturday. They're going to be hosting a tournament at the Midwest Gaming Expo. I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be here. We're going to be pulling all this stuff in and sending it out to you guys on live stream. Myself and KC and Gunther. Gunther's actually going to be there. He's going to be kind of sending traffic. So we're going to run this for about an hour next week. So it should be a lot of fun. I think we'll have a good time. But I'm really torn. Go ahead, Moot.
The Gaming Expo in West Allis, Wisconsin.
I believe so. Yes, it's Midwest Gaming Expo.
Yeah.
Are you going?
Not that close.
Are you going?
I have a friend trying to convince me to go.
You should go, and then go hunt down Gunther. But yeah, I was mad because my mom sent me a message today on Facebook that Richard Dean Anderson, my childhood hero, MacGyver,
Aha.
is going to be at the Steel City Con that weekend. And I'm debating whether I'm taking off of work Friday to drive down to Steel City Con to meet MacGyver. Come on! Am I the only one that loved MacGyver? Everybody loved MacGyver.
No, I love MacGyver.
You gotta love MacGyver.
Absolutely.
Even though he's old and gray now, I'd still like to meet him.
And the theme song.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. So that's what's some cool stuff coming up. Bill, you want to preface some retro game spotlight so we could see what is going on in the world of Bill? I'm trying to rearrange some of this stuff here. And
In the world of Bill?
in the world of Bill, because
Oh, you don't want to be a part of that world.
I don't want to be in a. What's going on in Bill's world? Well, don't make me pull up the Bills clues.
Oh, don't you dare. Don't you dare. We are not going there this week. not doing
It might be here, actually. Let me look. No, go ahead.
Don't do
Go
it.
ahead.
Yeah, so as some of you may be aware, if you own a Wii U or a Nintendo 3DS, the eShop will be closing Monday. So get what you can before it closes.
Retro Gaming Spotlight.
All right, everyone, for this week's Retro Gaming Spotlight, well, let's just consider this a little bit of a public service announcement. The eShop for the Wii U and the 3DS is officially closing for good this Monday, March 27th. Yep, that's right. This is going to be your last chance to pick up any games on the eShop for the Wii U or the 3DS. That's assuming you actually have funds left over, as you haven't been able to add funds to it for several months now. And of course, one of the coolest things about the Wii U and the 3DS was the Virtual Console and all the retro games that were available for it. So if you're not a big fan of the way Nintendo Switch is handling some of their older games through their online service, and you prefer to actually purchase and own games for yourself, well, this is certainly one way to do it. And like I said,
Retro Gaming Spotlight.
and of course, one of the coolest things about the Wii U and the 3DS was the Virtual Console and all the retro games that were available for it. So if you're not a big fan of the way Nintendo Switch is handling some of their older games through their online service, and you prefer to actually purchase and own games for yourself, well, this is certainly one way to do it. And like I said, this is going to be your last chance before they close the shop for good. Alright, so if you own either a Wii U or a 3DS or 2DS, either one, and you're interested in any of these Virtual Console games, well, like I said, this is going to be your last chance to get access to them before the shop closes. So you've got this weekend coming up. Get on there and get the games you want. And there you go. That's going to do it for this week's Retro Gaming Spotlight. See you next time. All right, yeah, so basically just wanted to give everybody a reminder that eShop is closing for good on Monday. So, you know, if you've got funds in there, or I think somebody said in the chat, if you link your Wii U to your Switch account, you can still add funds that way, because you can't add them directly anymore. Then, yeah.
Can we talk about the elephant in the room? That Jade hit the button there so that she could get back on the air to talk because she was so over this. Like she's saying like she's in the eShop. Can we talk about that? I told you not to press that button. You know, and speaking of pressing buttons, see you have a bad issue. You've been pressing buttons this week that you almost deleted your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like, what was that about? Like
that was a big oops.
Yeah, that was a really big oops, because you went from like almost.
Well, no, okay. In all fairness, I made a post talking about how I, like, on my page, my content's moving away from like home arcade type content. Basically, I made a community post, I don't know, like a week and a half ago maybe, and then UAG Nick beat me on, what was it, Saturday, on Street Fighter 2, which was really fun, by the way. But he beat me, so I just figured, I'm gonna take down my YouTube. I'm so embarrassed. I'm just gonna take it down.
Jeez.
And,
Wow.
You sore loser.
no, so I was like, well, I'll just wait until we finish the tournament, and then I'm gonna like take my stuff down and reorganize everything. And I was trying to private it because I thought you could just private your channel like all at once with this option. It was like either that or delete it. And so I did that option to private everything, but what it does is it hides your channel, and I didn't realize my whole entire channel was hidden because I didn't look at it. I was just like, I just don't want to look at YouTube for a couple days. And people kept messaging me and be like, is everything all right? Your channel's down. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I took it down. Like, yeah. And then I think like the fourth or fifth person messaged me, and I was like, okay, what the hell? What is this? Like, people keep asking me if I'm okay. I go and look, and the channel's just completely gone. And I was like, oh shit! Like, I had a couple drinks, and maybe I wasn't paying attention.
She hit the wrong
and pressed
button.
the red button. So I had to get it back up, and fortunately, everything returned to its former self. But when it came back online, everything was private. So I was like, okay, I guess now is a good time to reorganize and stuff. So.
And your subscribers came back.
Yeah, my subscribers came back. And there's
good.
like, so the way it's set up now is basically that there's like Easter egg stuff kind of throughout the page. If you're looking for some of my older content, like it's in there. You're just going to have to scroll through my community stuff or look in some of my videos because there's links everywhere. But that's that.
Well, don't hit that button again because you're giving a lot of people a heart attack in the chat room. They're saying like you almost give a heart attack. I want to give a shout out to Outrun the Neon Sun, Dan. If you guys haven't checked it out, last night he was generous, asked me to come on the show. I was like, yeah, let's go. And I feel bad for Mike Worley and PD7 because they had to sit there and listen to me last night. And so I just want to apologize to them.
Now they know how we feel.
I know. Well, you guys at least have learned to live with it. They actually had to deal with me for an hour and 15 minutes. Can you believe that? An hour and 15 minutes. But if you have not subscribed, we're trying to get Dan to 1,000 subscribers. If you can, get over there. Listen, this community, you guys did it for Jade. You've done it for other people. Don't make me sick mode on you, because if I have to sick mode on you, it's all over. Right? That's the way it goes.
He's ready to go already. Don't
I
make Steven do
already have the stigma of being this hyper aggressive individual. That's not me. But for this you are. That being said,
for this you are.
I usually don't put people over, but I'll put over Outrun the Neon Sun. Good dude, man. Like, I'm saying, I got to talk with him for like an hour and a half. Like, late on like a Saturday night, came into the Discord and hung out on the call and whatnot. And it's noble the things that he does.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that he, like, the way he positions himself with things, even the challenge right now, the Goonies say, that challenge right there, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of good things that he's doing and he's trying to do for community, and legitimately he's trying to bring people together. So yeah, if you're not subbed, like, dude, drop him a subscribe. Like, why not? It's free. It's not going to hurt your channel, dude. Check him out. And if you don't like it, that's the worst case scenario is you unsubscribe. But at least give somebody a chance.
Yeah, and I will say I was very jealous of Mike's NES collection that was sitting behind. Like, I think he was kind of doing it just to be like, yeah, check this out, buddy. No, he's not that type of guy. He wouldn't be. But no, I was seriously like, I was envious of that. I shouldn't say I was jealous, but I was very envious of, because probably a lot of games there that I played as a kid. But yeah, go check it out if you haven't checked it out. He's got a Discord. We all got Discords. We're all in. So go check that out as well. Guys, let's talk about some new wave toys, right? So there was a comment that came up in the chat room before the show came up. And somebody, can you clarify, or even the panel? Somebody said, did Nintendo spell this wrong, or did New Wave Toys spell it wrong? Where they wrote, New Wave Toys has ghosts and goblins. They said Nintendo spells it ghosts with an S on the end of it and goblins.
Well, the actual arcade game is also Ghosts and goblins. So I think
So-
it's just wrong in that logo there from New Wave Toys.
Okay, so what if your cabinet from New Wave Toys comes with ghosts and goblins? Are you going to be upset?
Well,
There's no way.
no.
I'm
No, I
just
think if-
asking. I'm
if you
asking
look at
for a
the-
friend. That's all.
If you look at the pictures, and I know for the most part they're probably just renders at this point, it does say ghosts and goblins.
Yeah,
on
so
the-
right here, that's what I wanted to show, just so
Yeah.
people aren't panicked. It says ghosts and goblins, and up here they just forgot the S.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring it up because
Yeah, whoever they hired to put that logo together for them screwed it up.
so
Basically.
so did any of you guys did you pre-order any of these, or are you planning on pre-ordering any of these, or doing the combo pre-order? I think you can get it for $311.99. I think there's a promo code GNGVIP that'll get you 20% off.
Yep.
That'll bring it down to like $269 or $270 and some change for both of them.
I am definitely considering getting. I won't get both because look, they have the same features. They play the same games. It's just,
But you need one
the
for
people who are getting both are because they collect them all and they want to have both cabs. But I will very likely get one of the two because I definitely want to check out some of the new features they've added to this. That ability to put the coins in to play, it sounds awesome, and I can't wait to see how that works. And I'm curious to see what they've done with this CRT filter.
Yeah, so
change
some of
they
the
made to it.
I was just going to say some of the other things they did to it, because there was a lot of complaints about the CRT filter that was on some of the other ones. I think it's funny though that they added a coin collection box as well as this mini faux power cable.
Yeah, that I don't know what that's about. That's kind of funny, but whatever.
Is it? I mean, yeah. I mean, is it retractable or does it just snap
Detail.
on?
It's all about detail.
Yeah, it's details.
Well,
So-
what was funny is they first did that, I think, or they first announced that for that what is it, that Zoltar
yes.
thing they have coming out,
Mhm.
and I thought that was just a funny nod to the fact that in the movie Big it was
It was
unplugged.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess they're just doing this as part of the look of it. It's an arcade cabinet that like you would plug it in.
So I'm going to rag on Mike Worley, the bad guy. He said last night, I think he said he bought both of them. I think he said that. Maybe he bought one. But I think, and this game, if you've never played it, is super hard. It's like,
Oh yeah,
I have it on my Final Fight cab, and I can get pretty far on it, but it's taken me months to do it. Like, now, I said, Dan goes last night, he goes, oh, well, just hook it up to a TV. I'm like, yeah, but you're still playing on these little controls, right? Like, how are you going to do that? Like, this game is, like, super tough. They need to include an external gamepad, like they did with, what is it, 1943?
Mhm.
That's my opinion.
yeah. I believe this does have a USB port to it, so you can hook one up, but it doesn't.
Okay,
come
that's
with
better
one,
then.
So,
That's better.
and they finally
Oh, he
have
got
put
one.
these with USB-C as well.
Oh, okay.
Charging.
Well, Dragon's Lair, the overhaul edition had USB-C. But,
did it? Okay.
Yeah, but for some reason the Food Fight didn't.
Right.
Yeah, I noticed that too. There's certain ones, and somebody said you could hook up an Xbox controller. I think last night. So I don't know if it was Brooklyn Menace. Somebody said that you could hook up that too. So, but I said I want to see Mike play it. I want to see him play it with the little joystick and the buttons and see if he can beat it, because that game is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
I hope there's dip switches in there where you can like tone it down, because even on easy is going to be like super hard.
Yeah, knowing them, they'll have all the same whatever features that the arcade had.
Brooklyn in the chat room. He goes. There is absolutely no way anyone is beating that game with those tiny controls. I am with you 110%.
Absolutely.
That is a ridiculous game. But hey, if you're into collecting these, $160. It's the closest thing to an original that you're going to find in that price point, and it's something that you want. Go check it out.
What's going on with their Coke machine though? Wasn't that supposed to be released like end of the year?
Right. So
2022,
so
and
they had been sending out emails that I found out that if you pre-ordered it and subscribed, it might have went to your junk. So there were some people that were asking about this, right? And what happened is, I'm gonna see if I can pull up the email. What happened is the filter or the film that they use for the graphics, they wanted to redo it. So I'm going to pull this up here real quick. Sorry, I'm doing this on. Way to go, Jade. Had to pull me on the fly. Okay. So, anyways, check your spam filters if you didn't. But they were saying that they redid the graphics. They should be in production right now, and you should be getting them. But they've been trying to update everybody through email. Why they didn't do it on the website is beyond me. But they've also done it through email. So if you pre-ordered. They said we finished printing the package last week, so probably in the next month or so you should have it. But I'm kind of glad that they did change it. You can see right there it's new and improved, right?
oh wait, they're not going with the original Coca-Cola logo.
It's the same logo. They just put it on different films, so it's darker. See, it's lighter here on the right. It's darker on the left.
Scroll down.
Yeah,
What is that?
the text is different. Yeah,
That's the improved Coke Classic light box. That's what they're saying.
The classic one looks better though.
Yeah, I think the classic one looks better too.
I don't know, man. I'm just
It's more nostalgic.
I'm bringing
exactly.
it. Okay, that's all I know.
Is that a BOE Coke screen?
Yeah, I think one of them's a BOE. The other one is a tin, a TIN.
I don't know, but it's pretty crisp.
It's very crisp.
I was gonna say very crispy.
So, you guys, if you want to know, I know some people were MG, of course. MG's got to come in. I'd prefer Pepsi. Well, they didn't do Pepsi, unfortunately. That would be good though. Do a couple. I know there's guys that would buy Mountain Dew ones, right?
Do the do.
Do the do. All right.
Juicy fruit.
You do a Dr. Pepper, I'm all in.
Dr.
It gets
Pepper.
right to ya.
I'm there.
Fruit stripe gum.
Let's talk about this. Did anybody see this week? Star Wars Jedi Survivor. This is the official trailer for PS5. Anybody interested?
It's like 15 frames per second. What's going on?
It's just what's going back to you. It's going out. It looks fine.
Okay.
And I'm screen capturing it too, so
yeah,
pay no mind to that.
This looks cool.
Yeah.
I love
the first game is fantastic. Such a good game.
Speaking of the first game, if you have a Steam account, this is on sale right now for $3.99, and the deluxe edition is $4.99.
Oh, so if you have a Steam Deck,
totally
you can
worth
get
it.
Ah,
more than worth it at that price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mo, you're gonna make me buy a Steam Deck. Stop it.
No, you just have Steam for your PC. I literally just opened Steam today, and it's like, it's right there, and I'm like, oh, cool.
It's probably on sale like in the Microsoft store too, then, and maybe PlayStation.
Well, you're not getting it in the consoles, I think, till the end of June. I think it's the 26th of June you're getting this.
No, not this. The
first
game.
The first one. Yeah.
That one's it's usually on sale on Xbox because of EA Play and stuff. So it's usually
right
on sale.
Yeah.
But for $5 for the deluxe edition, it's like a $90 game. So you can't, pass that up. Well, you
is
could.
EA Play is included with Game Pass, right? Or did they remove that?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so it's EA Play, Ubisoft, and then I think that's about it.
So did you get this already, Mo, on Steam?
Yes. That's how I found it was $5.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. So have you played it? Have you gotten to play it yet?
I played it on console, but I believe in the frames, so I have a graphics card just broken up.
April 28th it comes out. So, so what's your take on it so far now that you've had a chance to play it?
There's a learning curve, as with anything. It's not as hard as like something like Dark Souls or something like that, but there is a nice little difficulty there that you need to adjust to. But once you get used to it, it's fun. I'd say for $4, give it a shot. If you've got an Xbox, download it from Game Pass. Give it a shot. If you've got a PlayStation and you spend $5 to test Game Pass for a month, EA Play on PlayStation, test it out. It's $5. I mean, come on, you guys people spend more than that on like a coffee a day or something. Like literally.
Yeah.
Fallen Order is nice.
We're talking about Fallen Order, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
We're talking about Fallen Order.
Okay.
She's over there. Look at her. She's over there buying it right now. Look at her. She's like, heck with you guys right now. I'm gonna go buy this on Steam.
she
No,
might,
I already,
you might
I
as
already
well.
have Fallen Order.
I'm teasing.
I played Fallen Order. I
have
haven't
it too.
actually beat it though. I played it like halfway through.
All right. So if you have a chance, thanks Moat for giving us that update on Steam that they can get this cheap. I didn't know that. I knew it was available on Steam, but I didn't know it was on sale. So, Bill, why don't you talk to us about this next subject that has to do with Atari that you brought to my attention this week?
Yeah, this has been making the rounds for the better part of a week here. It looks like Atari got the rights to about a dozen different Stern games. The two big standouts, obviously, from this are going to be Berserk and Frenzy. They now own the rights to those, and there's a bunch of other games on there. Some are, I think, kind of known. Some of them are a little more obscure.
So what you're saying is Stern is going to go bankrupt soon.
Well, no, what I was going to say is now you know what your two new Arcade 1-Up cabinets are going to be because Stern and Arcade 1-Up are pretty close.
They're making an ET pinball?
Who's making an ET pinball? I'm sorry, I was reading the article.
Never mind. Bad.
Get out of here.
Really bad joke.
Go ahead, Bill.
No, I'm actually. You bring up an interesting point, and I think people have been kind of talking about that since this broke. About will we see some of these games? Said again, Berserk, Frenzy. I think are the two people would most like to see on a 1-Up, like an Atari-based 1-Up. I think it's a possibility for sure. And
Tasmania, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
That was a good game. I love Tasmania.
Yep. Ouch, Elliot.
Lost Tune.
Ouch.
Would you like some Reese's Pieces, Jade?
Ooh, that sounds really good.
I think, Bill, you got this one though for the Switch, right?
I do. I love that collection. It's a great collection.
Yeah, it is. It is a good one.
Let's see here. That's
a lot of really good games on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that was really it. The fact that they acquired those games. So it'll be interesting to see what
they do with it.
What they do with it. Now, again, going back a few months, I think people who are fans of Atari, especially like the VCS, were kind of in a panic when they found out that they were like cutting back or stopping a lot of the manufacturing of it. But I think they're doing this, and something else that I think maybe we're going to talk about.
Go right into it because I'm ready for it.
Ramp up, maybe production of VCS and adding games to it as well. And then this is the other thing they did was they acquired Night Dive Studios. And the thing about Night Dive Studios is they have they've made a lot of games in the past. That's what's the biggie? System Shock. They're known for, but they have this Kex engine, which they say is really good at either bringing like retro games into where you can play them on modern systems, or using it as a means to remake older games. So I think they're looking at it as a way to revive some of their older IPs and bring them into the modern era.
Atari's just making moves, and everybody thought Atari was going to die.
System Shock. When I think of that game, I think of what's that other game? Space Hulk.
Oh,
Space
yeah.
Hulk.
Yeah.
I think of games like that, like Space Hulk, Flashback.
Pull this
Oh,
over.
so,
Let's
I mean,
I don't know
totally
if this
different
video has anything to
platform,
do with
but-
anything, or if it's just a commercial. But
I think
It might be the remake, right?
yeah, this is System Shock remake.
Is it?
Yeah. I was just playing it because it was here just to kind of show, like, if nobody's ever heard of System Shock, just kind of showing it.
So Atari's done some interesting things in the last week or so.
Bono's Tecmo says Kex Engine was used for Doom 64 and Quake new ports.
Okay.
Remember, and J Cut says, remember Test Drive by Atari? Yeah, Test Drive.
Yeah, it was a good racing series.
What Paul Barris says, what is Atari anymore? Well, that's the thing. That's what everybody's been saying. Like, Atari who? And then all of a sudden they come out in the news this week, just blowing up. Bill's sending this to me, and I'm going, really? Like, Atari's doing this? And Bill's like, yeah, apparently, like.
Yeah, so it's some interesting
Atari has been like pretty consistent though, like consistently busy, like, putting out games and stuff like that and licenses. I mean, they're still in the scene. It's just it's like Sega, like they're just not actively a part of like the console scene or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they've been doing all these remakes of some of their older games.
Well, every company's been doing that.
Well, a lot of them are really, really cool, though. That I know I have the one for Centipede and Black Widow. Those are actually really fun. I know they got the one for Aka R coming out that looks really interesting and even more trippy than the original game was.
So when you bought the original game, you paid $5 at a yard sale, because most of us, that's how we got our Atari games, right? We bought them at a yard sale and we got them for $5.
Yeah.
So Atari goes, here's the laugh on you. For the next 20 years, we're going to remake this game, and you're going to buy it every single time we remake it because you love the game. So now Bill's actually spent $200 to $300 on Centipede over the last 20 years. Right, Bill?
Yeah, probably. Oh, please. Like, everybody else doesn't do that. How many times have you bought the same game from Nintendo?
No, listen.
Seriously.
I'm not knocking you, because we all do it with, like, Mario, Zelda, Metroid. I mean,
come on.
Like, listen, I'm not knocking you at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Who on this panel bought Metroid Prime that already had it before?
Still has it.
Yeah, still has it. I was gonna say I have it for GameCube.
I wasn't going to, but then Bo knows.
It's all Moot's fault.
Raving about it, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah,
and
you know me.
Everybody else said it's so good, so I had to see for myself.
I'm sorry for inducing FOMO. That's kind of what I do.
Hey, you're the FOMO king, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So speaking of Sega, okay, I had a pickup this week, and I'm not gonna bore you. We're going to get into the video really quick to make it easy, so I had to get all my thoughts down. But I picked up a Master System. Hey guys, in this segment, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about console gaming. Now, many of you know I've done a lot in the home arcade space, and I continue to do so. But there's only so much you can talk about when cabinets aren't coming out, or there's things that just aren't particularly interesting to talk about, or it's been beaten to death with a lead bat. I built the arcade here that I have is for this nostalgia purpose. For people to come over, I have a lot of people that come over on weekends, and we have a game night. And people get to enjoy and relive some of those experiences that they had, if they're old enough like me, to be able to feel that vibe of being in an arcade. Well, a lot of these guys also have the nostalgia for console gaming. And if you haven't seen my game room tour from 2022, I know I need to update it. I'm going to be working on that for the 2023 revision, especially since I've gained a lot of consoles. I wanted to open up the discussion tonight about the console gaming, and I wanted to start with the Sega Master System. As many of you may or may not know, this has been a system that has eluded me for many, many years since I started collecting consoles. I've got consoles going back to the Atari 2600 and Intellivision. That's kind of the era that I remember and started in. So I am an inbox collector, so I was waiting for a boxed version of this game to come out and this system to where I could find it. Well, lo and behold, this week, I actually found a Sega Master System complete inbox with the Zapper. If you're not familiar with the Sega Master System, this is what it looks like. And I was really impressed with the quality of the box. It still had the foam. The only thing it was missing was the manuals and the game. But other than that, it's complete. I managed to find the manuals, which are on their way. I found them on eBay for $15. And I found the game at my local retro game store for $5. So in essence, they wanted $350 for this system. I got them down to $219. That was what it was with tax and everything. So I shaved almost $150 off because it was the power brick was bad in it. They didn't know that. I found that out when I got home, so I wasn't too peeved about that. I had another one, and I ordered an original. But the game, the manuals, made it all worth it. Then I opened it up, because I opened it up there, but I was like half paying attention. I just wanted to see how it was packaged. It looked really good. I opened it up, and lo and behold, I found something that's quite interesting. I'm going to wait a few seconds to see if you guys can spot it in the picture that I have here. There's something unique in this picture that should not have come with this system. It's not advertised to be in this system, but it is pictured right over here. Do you know what it is? Have you spotted it? If you guessed the 3D glasses, you're correct. And why is that so beneficial? Well, the 3D glasses are very rare. If you look them up on eBay, they're selling anywhere from $75 to $150, depending on the quality that you get, if you're getting them in box, if you're getting them loose, and if it's coming with the chip adapter that plugs into the front of the console. You'll see more about that when I do a video on it. This is the first time I'm owning this Gen 1 Master System. I had the Master System 2, which was a smaller unit. But I was surprised. So for $219, I got about $100 of extras because I got the 3D glasses and the chip. That brings it down to essentially $119 for this whole system that I paid because of the value that I got with it. And I know if Glenn was here, he'd be like, I hate you. So with that, I was talking to Jayde, and I said, how do I utilize the 3D glasses? Because I had never used them before. We just played Alex Kidd in Miracle World, and that was pretty much it. Well, she told me I needed to pick up a CRT TV. So I was like, because I didn't really want to do it. They're hard to find around here. Nobody wants to sell them because they're a headache. Well, yesterday I was on Facebook Marketplace, and one of two TVs, one of them was 55-inch, and I didn't want something that big, but I did want a flat screen, and lo and behold, I found this for $10. I had to drive 20 minutes away, and I picked this up for $10. It was beautiful. It didn't have the remote, but it was beautiful. On the back, it has three composite inputs, so I could hook up three systems right to the TV without having any kind of additional adapters and things in the way. I can also hook it up through the cable box, like where you plug it in your antenna. And it also has composite attachments on the side of the TV if I needed to. So it has 4 sets of composite inputs, and it has a component input. So essentially I could hook up 5 consoles to this without having to do any kind of legwork, if you will. So yesterday, I spent a lot of the day restructuring my game room, and then I upgraded everything and put my regular Nintendo, my TurboGrafx 16, my Jaguar, and my Master System on here. All can be playable on a CRT, flat screen, great sound, great picture, and I was just blown away. It instantly brought me back to those days of when playing on a CRT, sitting on the floor, and just loving life. And that's what I want to get back to with Game Time. I know we all love these arcades. We love the games that we have. We love the systems. We have our favorites. We have our not so favorite. Let's get back to the love of games. And honestly, I don't care what system it's on. If it was fun, I want to play it. So that's what I want to ask you. I know our team here probably has a list a mile long for me of games that I should get for the Master System. So you, the community, you guys that are in the chat room right now, put in your favorite game for the Master System if you had one, either from the Zapper game or for the 3D glasses. I know the first thing that I want to play with the Nintendo now that I have a CRT is Hogan's Alley and Duck Hunt. They sound like so stupid games because we grew up, it was packaged with it, but I miss playing those Zapper games, and I want to show my kids how cool Hogan's Alley was and how cool Duck Hunt was with those zappers. So let me know. Put a comment in the comment box down here because, yeah, I mean, that's why we're here, right? We love games. So let's take you back to the show. Guys?
Sega challenges you with the ultimate video games. Games that'll blow you away. Like Alex Kidd in Miracle World. And coming soon, Monopoly. Knockout games like Rocky. Gangster Town. The shift into more excitement with the arcade hit Outrun. Only on the Sega system. Sega, the challenge will...
Really?
All right. So you guys saw that the CRT. Sorry it was a longer video. I know Jade was over here falling asleep, but she's the reason I got the CRT, because I didn't know a lot about it, and she was the one when I was telling her that I got the glasses. Jade, why don't you elaborate a little bit, because I didn't know that you couldn't, because I didn't have it. I had the Master
calls
System
me
too.
up and he's like bragging about his awesome Sega Master System, and I'm like, ooh, cool. And then he's
just like that.
And then he's like, yeah. And then I go, well, did you get the 3D glasses? And he goes, no, because initially you said no, right?
Yeah, originally I didn't, because I didn't look at it.
He said no, and then I'm like, oh, well, that's a bummer. You should try and get the 3D glasses. But he's like, it has a zapper and everything, and I'm like, well, he goes, I can use that, right? And I'm like, well, you have a CRT, right? And he's like, no, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? You literally have this mountain of retro consoles, and you don't have a CRT. Like,
yeah, she hated on me.
How have I been working with you this long and this has never come up?
I don't even know you anymore.
Yeah, I'm like, if you want to use that zapper, you're gonna have to get a CRT, and everything. And I told him about the 3D glasses, and he's like, okay. But then he calls me back like, what?
Like an hour later, because it was after your appointment.
Later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, you're never gonna believe this. So they actually put the glasses inside of the box, and I was like, you son of a boop. And so, yeah. So I was like, all right, now you need to go get a CRT. I'm like, I'll help you find one
she did
on eBay or something. I'm like, and then he tells me, calls me the next day or something. He's like, oh, it just sends me a picture of this really nice CRT. And he's like, yeah, I got it for $10. I'm like, what the like, what is going on right now? You know what? God is really like following you around, just like bestowing amazing deals on you because you donated your at games to church. And so anyways, so he got this great deal, got the CRT, and now obviously he can play the system correctly. As it was meant to be played, but just what an amazing deal. But out here in California, where I live at least, it's like you go on OfferUp or eBay or anywhere, and every single listing for a freaking CRT TV, it's like a 13-inch CRT. It's like 13-inch CRT for retro games, $150. I'm like, you're out of your mind.
That's crazy.
You're out of your mind. Like, it's crazy what people are asking, and every heading of any CRT that you look at, any listing, is for retro gaming. Like, screw you. Oh my god.
But see, so right there, Matt Astra, that's exactly what I did. I had all the consoles hooked up to a 65-inch TV that anybody at any point could go in and play by pressing a button on an HDMI switcher and play. And but I will state this, after talking to her and getting this, it is, we were joking about it during the video. I said it was like when you go to grandma's house and you're sitting in the base, she tells you go to the basement and play Nintendo. Didn't matter if you had Sega, Atari, you were playing Nintendo, and you were going down and you were getting out of grandma's hair. That's what you were doing. And sitting on the floor in that hard floor in the other room, I have a little bit harder time getting up now than I used to. It completes that nostalgic feel because you remember, wow, I remember the stupid glitches.
Don't forget, if grandma couldn't change the channel on the TV after you played on it.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That's right.
So the only thing that this was missing was a remote. It was flat screen, and I was looking for like a Sony Trinitron. That was the CRT that I was looking for. But honestly, I wiped this sucker down. It looked immaculate. And the guy's like, yeah, it's just been sitting here. He said it works great. But it has 3 composite inputs on the back. It has a component input on the back, an S-video input. It has your normal antenna. And then on the side, it has a composite input. So I essentially have like 3 more inputs I can use with it. And I already have 4 consoles hooked up, and I just have to select it inside of the TV. So for $10, I saw somebody in here posted that in Jersey, people are giving them away. Not out here, man. Mo, is it like that in your place or?
Oh no. I mean, like, it depends. Like, in central Wisconsin, it's you can find them on the road. So yeah, like it's funny because people like they'll cut the cord off of them. You know what I mean? And then they'll put the cord on top of it or whatever else, right? Like I pick mine up off the side of the road. It's great. Literally, you can find them like in Goodwills or whatever else. Or what a lot of people forget about, and I don't know if this is about like your guys' area or whatever. You can go into a Best Buy when they're like recycling them and ask them like, "Hey, dude," they bring this one like, "Can I have that?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, take it." So if anybody's ever looking for a CRT and you can't find one on a Craigslist or something, check your Best Buy. Don't call, like actually go check because they'll be like, "Oh, well, we can't do this." Kind of the way they don't honor Golden Tee sales and stuff. But yeah, just go check and you might be able to get one for the free speed.
I like how you threw that. It's like, yeah.
That's funny because I got the CRT that I have upstairs. I actually bought from Best Buy, and I think it was on sale for under $100. And
there's no way.
And at that time that was a great deal.
Yeah. Wow.
It was a great deal. And so, but I've had that TV, since like 2000 or something like that.
Yeah, Grandma, what is this weird video? No, you're 100% right. Now, one of the things I did ask Jade, what are the go-to games? Which I have a 601 cartridge, but I still want to pick up ones to put on the shelf for collecting and completionist. I don't want people messing with it. So I've got about 6 games that are on the shelf right now. Alex Kidd and a bunch of other ones you'll see in a video. But Jade, you had mentioned Zaxxon 3D is one to get. Phase Harrier 3D, Outrun 3D, Line of Fire, Blaze Eagle, and Maze Runner Missile Defense are all top games. Anybody in the chat room, do you got anything to add? Or Mo or Bill, any other games that you, besides your average ones like Alex Kidd, everybody knows?
First
like,
three are like the top 3 for 3D gaming.
You have to have horrible titles too. You need to have Rocky.
I do have Rocky. I bought Rocky 2 First Blood.
There you go.
My son's like, I don't like this.
So between that and Shinobi, I mean, I don't know.
I was definitely gonna say Shinobi. Shinobi's a great game. Great. I did the retro gaming spotlight a couple of weeks ago on Zillion. I love that game. That is such a fun game.
Ghost House, they're saying.
Kind of hits that Metroid and Impossible Mission genre. So I always thought that was a good one. Forgotten Worlds I thought was always kind of fun on Sega. So there's definitely some interesting ones to look out for.
Yeah.
What is it? Ghost House?
Yeah, that one I don't know.
I
saw a lot of people talking about that one in the chat. I don't know that one.
There's like a big. I mean, the Master System has a pretty big library, and it was kind of they had like a library that went alongside with Genesis or Master System. Wait, not Master System. Sorry, Mega Drive, Genesis. And like there was that point where they kind of overlapped, and there was games that were on the Master System that you could also get on the Genesis.
Right. A lot of games. Sonic.
And the cool, Sonic. Like the cool thing though was that like the ports for the Master System would sometimes be slightly different. Like so Sonic would follow like the same style of gameplay and everything, but the levels were a little bit different and the way everything kind of, worked was a little bit different. So it kind of added that fun replay value to it. And I mean, I never had a Master System personally, but I did play a Master System. And it was basically, a Game Gear was like a handheld version of a Master System. I did have a Game Gear, and
I have 2 of them actually. Crap out of that. Yeah, I love the Game Gear. I still to this day I pull it out and I play it. I remember getting that. We wanted Game Boys for Christmas, and this is how my parents thought, and which I'm thankful that they did that way. But Nintendo was always just well known, right? Mm-hmm. When we were kids, we wanted a Game Boy for Christmas, and my dad saw Sega Game Gear, and he saw the TurboGrafx Express, and then he saw the Lynx. And I remember being at Toys R Us and Kitty City. We went back and forth. Do you guys remember Kitty City? Did you guys have a Kitty City with the little kangaroo as the mascot?
Toys R Us, yes. I don't know what
KB Toys R Us.
Okay, look up Kitty City. That was another big, huge chain. And the worker there was like, you need to go with the my dad's like, I don't want to get in black and white or black and yellow, whatever you want to call it. He's like, we want to do the color. And he's like, well, I would go with Sega because Sega's well known. Atari's just kind of like, not many people are buying it, which is true. Not many people bought the Lynx. And the Turbo Express, not many people bought that either. And so we ended up getting that.
Though. Turbo Express was good.
Dude, that was I had the TV tuner. Did any of you guys had the TV tuner for the Game Gear? That was like our first ever TV. We were like, this is great. We got games and TV on this little 3-inch screen. This is phenomenal. We can watch the football games, you know? And I just, that's the stuff I remember when I look at it. Like those times. And I think so many times we get wrapped up in these systems and these games. But when I say I hit peak nostalgia was this morning. The kids were at school. My wife was at work. I've been off all week. I had some vacation I had to burn. And I'm sitting on the floor playing Super Mario Brothers 1. And I remember Christmas morning in I want to say it was 1985 or 1986. And it just instantly brought me back to that day playing that Christmas morning. Just for that brief moment. And then I got up and I realized I'm not a little kid anymore because my back was killing me.
That's because it took you 10 minutes to get up off
the floor.
Took me
10 minutes to get off the floor. but when people come in here like, why do you have that stuff? That's my answer. Honest to God. Like, that experience is...
Phantasy Star, yeah. Phantasy Star.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyways, guys, I appreciate all the suggestions. I'm putting them on my list. I have a list here, so keep them coming. You can hit me on Twitter with them if you think of ones outside this chat. Jade, I want to keep this thing moving. You also have been busy the last 2 weeks. Listen, this girl was sick. She's calling me on the phone, barely talk. Mo, I know she was talking to you too. Barely could talk. She's out bondoing and sanding, and she's like, hey, I don't know if I got to. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm sanding. Why? Why?
I had to keep going. Okay, it was like if we were in the cold, you know, and I was sick, I couldn't just sit there and die. Like, so I wanted to die at least doing something I like doing. So,
all right, well, let's take a look at what you were doing.
Well, today I'm doing a video on my Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Z-Back, and this was really an extraordinary find. Now, while the cabinet was not in the best condition, it doesn't matter because I took it and I molded it and shaped it into what I wanted it to become. I'll walk you through the process of what I did. Here we go. So this is the day that me and Danny actually went to pick these cabs up. And these were surprise finds. We went to grab a Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift cab, but I found this. So I offered the seller $200 for it, hoping that it worked. He said the last time he powered it on, it worked. And I was just hoping it was still gonna work. The thing was not in good condition as far as the cab goes. But when I powered it on, everything fired right up. The Naomi worked, the monitor looked great. So I just thought, all right, let's get this thing apart and clean it. As you can see, there was a lot of water damage. Everything was very dirty and dusty. So there was a lot of work to be done. So the first thing I did was pull the whole wood board out that has the Naomi mounted on it and started taking apart the Naomi. Once I had it apart, I cleaned it thoroughly with isopropyl alcohol and a toothbrush. I took all the pieces apart, took the fans out, cleaned everything, and then put it all back together in hopes that it was still going to work. And after a few tries, it did. Here's the wood board that I sanded down and sprayed with a sealer, but that's what it's mounted to. After I got all that done, I started sanding down the outside of the cab and really taking a look at what I was gonna have to do. And it was a lot of repair. As you can see, the particle board wood was pretty messed up, especially towards the bottom where there was a lot of water damage. So I really had to do a lot of sanding and Bondo work to get this thing looking right. And it was a lot of work. Also, one of the things that was really annoying was that these screws on the inside that mounted a lot of the security door pieces were bent. So I had to bend them all and break them and then unscrew the hex screws. I decided to tackle the sides first, and once I had done everything and bonded them, I primered them up, and then I started working on the front kick panel, which was probably the most damaged area, and I couldn't take off the coin door or that support bar above it because I think they put that there to hold the wood together because it had cracked. Anyways, once I got all that done, I primed it, and then I was able to put my paint on it, get the T-molding on, and let me tell you what a difference that was. So here's where we started. Let's take a look real quick, and then let's see how it came out. That was about I don't know, somewhere between 40 and 50 hours worth of work over a 2-week time span to get it to where it is now.
And
Well
she's
worth
taking
it.
orders right now, everybody. So just put your orders in the chat room here. And we've already got the first three that are coming.
Oh my God. I don't think I would ever want to have to do that again unless it was like a serious flip. I mean, I think I could sell that, which I'm not, but I think I could sell that for like 2,500, you know, maybe 25, $2,000 and get away with it because that, I mean, it's sought after and it is
sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty
the cool
sweet.
The cool thing about the Naomi too, I mean, so I picked that thing up for $200, and the cool thing about that Naomi is that it was working. I mean, I was talking about this when we were running the segment. It's just mind blowing to me that with as much damage as that thing had and the condition it was in, I mean, it was like it looked like an animal that was like in shackles and just being used for entertainment and money. That's like what I thought of when I first got it, and I was like, you poor baby. And I mean, the amount of bolts that I had to pull out of it and holes that I had to fill and everything, I was like, man, I really just hope this turns out okay. But I mean, even at the $200 price point, to get a Z-back that had a working Naomi system in it with a good CRT was like still mind blowing to me. I was like, you know, if all that's working, I can clean everything up and I can do something with this. So I was just glad that it turned out the way it did. It's not perfect, but I'm pretty happy with the way that it turned out. And the cool thing about Naomi, what I was going to say is that I can put different cartridges in there. Or if you get the GD-ROM system or a NetDim, you know, you can play any of the Naomi games that you want on there, and there's like stuff that allows you to play other systems as well. So it's a really, really, really cool setup. definitely a good find.
Yeah, so chat room saying everybody's saying they did a fantastic job. Hey B, thanks for sending people over. Really appreciate it. Having some fun here tonight. I totally would get that. I don't think I could fit it anywhere, but it just looks phenomenal.
Stunning.
I know what it's like to Bondo something. I used to do a lot of that stuff with making custom car stereo enclosures, and to get that smooth and it's not easy. It's not, and to see it and not be pitted down the side, and you put some time into it, and it looks the part. So very, very cool.
Well, thank you. It was definitely a lucky find. I think I mentioned it in the segment, but we went there, hoping to see something cool. That guy had a couple other really awesome cabs in his storage unit that we probably could have got, but I was like, I'm not gonna, spend more than a couple $100 here, so it worked out.
Awesome. I always like seeing those. Even though I can't really have real arcades, I just don't have the room for it. I think Moat and Bill, you guys are in the same boat.
Yeah,
Love to have one.
Listen. They make storage units for those kind of things. And hey, I'll make room. So yeah.
Okay. But it's phenomenal looking. You have Moat over there drooling the whole time. If you could see his face, like he's just kind of like I want that.
Like people think I'm kidding. Like, dude,
No, I know I'm not.
Like, I'm like, dude, I absolutely love that game. Like, and I'm just like, you can just let it go. It'll go to a great person.
I think like the MVC2 cabs. Like when I think of what cabs I would have wanted it in, I always thought like HS5 or Dynamo. So or a Z-back or a Big Blue or
I'll say a Big Blue,
or a Candy. A Candy is a really good Naomi platform, I think. But like the Z-back was just really a cool thing to find because I have that HS5 Dynamo Neo Geo now. So it's like I have the Dynamo, now I have a Z-back, and that pretty much ties everything together. So it's definitely cool. But yeah, for that particular game, I think if I could choose between any two platforms, I would say Z-back or Candy. Like a Sega Blast City or something. They even had like a Naomi, a really rare, but like a Naomi style candy cab. Very rare though. I don't know if you could find one and pull it up, Steven, but they're really cool.
A Naomi candy cab?
Yeah.
I would trade the luck for finding CRTs for your luck for finding these cabs all day. Every day.
Yeah, I don't think you're finding one of those on the side of the road.
All
Sorry.
Right. Absolutely not.
Jade, you'll have to help me out here with this one here. So is this the one we're looking at here in the front?
No, that's like a regular candy. So go to images. Go to images.
Oh, just going to images here.
Yep. And then it's got to be in here somewhere.
I would think.
Wait, down, left.
Oh, right here, this universal one.
Or no, wait. All the way down to the right.
Oh, right here. Got it.
No, not that.
Not that one?
No.
So all the way down to the right. All the way at the...
Go to the left.
Oh, this one here where it says Sega Naomi?
Okay, let's look. Let me see.
That's the top part of it.
No.
It's not the whole.
Okay, listen to me.
I'm listening.
Go in the middle of the screen, go left. There's a white one right there with a white background and an orange marquee. I think that is
the third one with the
third one
on it.
Yeah. Is this one here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
a white
that is
background.
It. Yeah, that's a Naomi candy, and those things are, of course they have like the orange and white style. Like I really think that would be a cool thing to have. Plus, they're easier to move. But it's got a CRT in it. See how thin it is? But it's got that CRT kind of sticking out of the back of it. They're really neat.
Yeah, she's thick in the back. You can see it from the image.
Yeah.
Yeah. But these are like the Japanese style ones, right? Like they're rare, like in the U.S.
Well, this particular one, the Naomi
Okay.
candy, is rare anywhere. They're harder to
I've
come
never
by.
seen these types of arcades growing up in the arcade. That's why I'm asking.
Well, yeah, the candy cab thing is more of a Japanese Japan thing. But
Yeah.
now if you're going to like if you look at like there's a mall out here that has an arcade and they have like Street Fighter 5 in the arcades and those are in like a Buick style like candy cab style cabs. So it kind of moved out here, but yeah, back in the day it was like Sega Blast City and Astro City were like the thing in Japan. Like they were just everywhere. And plus they had like the for matching service games like Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting. Or not Hyper Fighting, sorry, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo for matching service.
I like that. Looks like a folded up treadmill. That's the best comment. He ain't lying.
No.
Either way, yours, I personally think yours looks better than that. That's just my 2 cents. What do I know? But I thought I like.
Yeah, I'd never seen any of those, the candy cabs like the Astro City type or anything. The first time I saw one was just last year. I went to one of the retro gaming conventions out in Long Island, and they had a bunch of them set up, and they are really cool. I thought the coolest thing was when they had like a couple of them back to back playing the same game. You know, so you could play against each other, but on your own, on your own screen, instead of standing side by side. That was actually really kind of.
My buddy
cool.
Steve Wright, Mr. Rightway, he's got a candy cab. He just got it. I don't know if it's like a multicade one, but
well, that's the thing that's nice about those is it's very easy access in the in and out of the front of the cab. So, I mean, you can set it up to play whatever you want. And if you have a mister, of course, then just plugs right into the JAMA harness. So. But the thing with that I learned with Naomi, and this is also applies to CPS2 boards, is that the standard harness plug for the control panel in America only had the joysticks and 3 buttons. So you had to get a kick harness that gave you 6 more buttons and that gives you 6 more buttons. So you have 6 on each side. Anyways, it was like a really weird thing that I was like, oh, okay. And I was looking around to see if they had like a harness that actually had 6 buttons. And every one that I found was like Japanese harness from a candy cab. And I'm like, that's so weird. So in the United States, you had to put a kick harness adapter on there to give you 6 buttons on both sides. Interesting.
Very cool. I've been watching the chat room here. We've got one more story for you guys here. And then we're gonna wrap this up. But I saw a comment earlier on. Somebody was asking about how they could get a TechBuzz gaming hat. Like I sell shirts through like everybody else does. I don't even know what the site is, but it's accessible. And the hats I get them custom made. I have a person in Tennessee that does the embroidery. But if enough people are interested, like I have one here that maybe I'll have to do like a giveaway of it or something. These are fitted hats, very comfortable. That's mostly all I wear is fitted hats. I like them. These are the let me see here. These are the Richardsons. Sorry. So anyways, these are embroidered, and so I got a. This is the last one I got left, so maybe I'll have to do a giveaway with this one. But I don't usually stock any of them because I hate having to stock them because then if nobody buys them, you're stuck with like 10 hats that they're just going to sit around and collect dust. So the last run I got some extra people. So if you're interested in it, if I can get enough numbers, so I don't charge to make money on these. If I get enough people, we could get the price down to like $20 a hat, which for a fitted hat that's embroidered, I mean, you buy a lot of hats too. You know that's kind of like unreal, right? For embroidered.
Yeah, hats are expensive.
So the more people that buy them, we can get them cheaper. But for right now, inside the U.S., it has to be inside the U.S. because you'll pay more in shipping than the hat's worth. We have them for about $25 because that includes the shipping. right? So like we can get the hats made and with shipping to cover pretty much in the U.S. That's kind of what I've been going with. Now, if we get more people, the price will go down. So I think I need at least 6 people, and that gets us to the first price point. If we get 12 people, that gets us to the next price point. So if you're interested, shoot me a DM. I'm all over social media. But I did see that comment earlier that somebody had left. The other thing I want to do is, a lot of you guys made some comments on my socials for those pillows that I have. Well, I picked up some that I'd like to use as a giveaway. If y'all are interested, like I've got that Xbox controller one. Unfortunately, I have a PlayStation one that's back here, that's way in the back here, that's spoken for. My brother's like, don't you give that away, I want it. So what I did was I'm going to walk over there, but it's a blanket PS5 combo. It's a pillow. It's like a neck pillow that you could use like when you're on a plane.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then that's like it's a decent sized pillow. You'll see when I stand by it. And then there you go. It's got a blanket pillow combo. So I am going to be in the process of getting another PlayStation 1 because, like I said, my brother confiscated that. But I'm thinking about doing a giveaway once I hit 9,000 subscribers. So if we can get me to 9,000 subscribers, I'm going to pick somebody from this chat on a Friday or a Thursday night to win either one of those pillows, and I'm gonna work on getting another. They were out of them. I'm gonna get another PlayStation pillow for a PlayStation 5. They're officially licensed. They're not knockoffs. And give that away. What do you guys think? Sound like fun? You guys in the chat?
Are you asking me or are you asking the chat?
I'm asking everybody. I'm asking everybody. You guys can be in for the winning too.
Steven, you never ask about giveaways. You just do it. Do it.
Well, I mean, does it sound like something?
The answer is always going to be yes. The answer for free stuff is always going to be yes.
Nobody's going to turn down free stuff, but
no.
I'm like, I think it's pretty cool for, for the gamers. Nice. I have a PlayStation and an Xbox One thrown on the couch over there. Bed Bath and Buzz, yeah. Yeah. So if you guys are wanting to get in there, I'm going to do a video so that way everybody can leave a comment like, hey, I'm already subscribed, and you can show proof. Because I think, Jade, you're also doing a giveaway. Why don't we get that out before we get that last segment done? You're doing a giveaway.
I am doing a giveaway, yeah. I'm doing a giveaway for an RG351V, the wood grain one. So for anybody who's interested in that, go check out my community posts, and you can enter there. Pretty easy to enter, and it's definitely going to be a cool prize. So just kind of celebrating retro gaming and yeah, and that and stuff. And then I don't know if I'm like shilling for myself right now or not, but I might as well just finish this off. They
want Bill's night robe.
This Sunday, I should be releasing the full video on the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet project overhaul pickup, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, it'll be out Sunday. So, nice. But that's really all I have going on right now. So
nice. The last story that we have, the news broke earlier today. Really quick to talk about is Sonic Origins. As if we don't have enough Sonic games. Origins. You say potato, I say potato. So just back off, sister.
I say correcto.
Sonic Origins Plus coming to Nintendo Switch in June. This is supposed to have all the games on it, as if you don't have enough ways to play it. I think it's pretty cool for a collector, somebody that loves Sonic. This is like the definitive collection. But yet Nintendo still hasn't done it for Zelda.
They should have done this like from the beginning. I remember thinking when the first one came out, I'm like, I would get it like if it had like everything on it.
Agreed. New modes, new challenges. Maybe you can play it online. Maybe you could compete against other people. I don't know. Maybe you could play together with one person. Bill could be Tails, and I could be Sonic, and that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Instead of just having it
What's it retailing for? Is it like less than? Is it $40 or less? Because if it is, then that's okay.
It's 40. It's
30.
40.
Oh,
okay.
Is it $39.99?
No, it's not bad at all.
This is definitely
it's got like a dozen of the Game Gear games on it, I think.
Yeah, this is a must pick up. I'm picking.
Does it have Sonic Spinball?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Yep. And I think they even said, like, if you own the original Sonic Origins, that you could basically that they'll sell the extra stuff as DLC as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you'd already bought Sonic Origins, you can basically upgrade to the Plus version.
Yeah, there's there's an expansion pack.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Oh yeah, you betcha.
Oh, you bet.
They'd have to
a day one.
The original came out at like $40, and if you bought the deluxe, it was $50. So yeah, they'd have to give that DLC away for free. It's crazy. All the Sonic.
I mean,
but it's getting the physical version, so I mean, there's that at least.
Yeah, and if you're a Sonic fan, for $40, 16 games, guys.
Yeah,
you'll be Sonic'd out. Like, I don't know. I'm definitely
edition.
Physical edition, definitely 100% gonna.
I saw this funny meme the other day, and it was like, not buying games or not buying digital versions of games because I'm a collector and I don't trust having digital downloads, or not buying digital versions of games because I want physical copies to display on my game shelf. And I was like, yep. We're sick.
Well, it's not lying. I mean, like, there's many ways to get games, and yet.
But there's something about having the physical.
It is. Like, I want them on a shelf in my room.
And, like you feel like you have it. Whereas digital is more like a catalog. And with offline modes and stuff like that, you don't feel like you own it as much. Like with the hard copy, you can just pop it in anywhere, right?
Yep.
True, but there's no guarantee that it'll work in the future, depending on what the game is.
Don't tell me that, Mike.
Okay. Well, what would you like me to tell you then, Jade?
That it's guaranteed to work for the rest of my life.
Absolutely, 100% guaranteed to work. It'll recognize the disc at least, or the cartridge.
I sense some sarcasm.
Right. Thank you.
No. I was being serious. It'll recognize it. It doesn't mean it'll boot into it, but hey, it'll recognize it at least.
So
yeah, no, I agree though with the truth of what you're gonna say.
So I was gonna share something with you guys, a little fun thing that I got to experience. My wife works as a teacher, for those that don't know, and I tend to play Spider-Man from time to time, and she asked me to come in it was Superhero Week. So I came into the classroom. I have a pretty authentic Spider-Man
that's awesome
costume from the movie.
Whoa, easy there on the crotch roll.
Custom made. What are you looking at the crotch for? Custom made.
I wasn't until you did extreme close up on it. You were like, "What?"
Well, it got out of hand there, zooming in. But listen, the one kid goes,
"Oh, my dogs are so."
The one kid whispers to the other kid. He goes, "Do you think that's the real Spider-Man?" And the kid goes, "I think so." And he goes, "How do you know?"
Really?
He goes, "Because the one that came to my birthday party had sneakers on, and this guy's got boots on." So that was kind of like the highlight. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. It's been the first time, probably in 3 years. I told my wife I retired from doing Spider-Man and with the kids. I have other pictures. I just can't show them because faces, and I don't want to get sued if parents happen to see it. But the other one was safe because it was all the back of their heads. But yeah, it was. I'm gonna be doing it in the summer again. My wife got me out of out of retirement to do that. But listen, that's why we're into this stuff, right? To make a kid smile, to look good as Spider-Man. That's all that matters, right? So, keep the packages at the door. All right, enough of the packages joke. There we go. Oh, jeez, here we go.
Hey!
Spider
If
beard.
you wouldn't have done that extreme close up,
I couldn't
whatever.
control the zoom. Calm down. Jeez. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. You already covered everything that you're doing. Anything else you want to add to that?
Let's see. Hey, you know what? Pray for UAG and his family. Well, whether you're religious or not, good thoughts, good vibes. And no more extreme close-ups. Okay. Steve?
Yeah, well, we're not gonna do that. Mo, what do you got going on? I know you're the king of tournaments, man. What's going on?
I'm gonna echo everything that Jay just said, but I mean, we're doing Arcade One Up Killer Instinct Trifecta tomorrow night on the Mo Plays channel, and then we're just gearing up for the extra live charity stream on the 16th, which will also be on the Mo Plays channel. Because let's be real, I don't want to get messages about why are you doing this on the main channel. So we're doing this. So we're just doing that stuff over there. Other than that, I have a video that I need to produce, apparently tied to something. So yeah, that's all I got, man. And everybody be positive, be safe, tell somebody you love them, because you never know,
Yep. Mr. Bill, what do you got coming up?
Same, amen to all of that for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I got a couple of things that I'm working on. She's got to get her last little digs in. I don't know. We'll see. I don't have anything major planned. We'll just kind of see how it works out, to be honest.
All right.
Well, Bill, can I just say, while I'm looking at your background,
yeah,
I see the Asuna in the Kirito and that Thanos back there. Yeah, Thanos, not Thanos, jabronis. The pops back there. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, yeah, that's a whole vibe. It's a whole vibe.
Yeah, I got a bunch of cool ones. I tend to stick towards, like, I get a lot of the ones that are like whether they're like the Hot Topics or Walmart, the special edition ones. I tend not to buy ones that are just regular Funko Pops, but I got a couple of interesting ones. The ones from Sword Art Online are actually kind of rare. I think they go for like a couple $100 a piece right now.
Ooh.
So those were pretty cool. I mean, I bought them back when they first came out, but I was pretty psyched to find out that they jumped up in price. Most of them are pretty much worth what I paid for them, but there's a couple that jumped up in price.
So Bill's next video is going to be on Funko Pops.
I've done a couple of those already.
I have garbage bags full of Funko Pops and still in package that if you guys saw this, you guys would be like, really? No.
I only have Cyberpunk Funko Pops, but I mean they're cool. But I only have Cyberpunk Funko Pops. I think I have the only 3 that they made, unless they made more.
It's horrible because they're almost as addicting as arcade machines.
Yeah, I got honestly. Like 3 or 4 still in the box. They're Star Wars ones that came with those mail-ins, so nobody has these ones. They're like limited. They're still down there in my Star Wars collection. That's for another day, another time. Guys, this Saturday night, 8 p.m., usually 8:30 we start game night. You guys get to be voyeurs and watch as the madness unfolds. That's right. You heard what I said. 8 o'clock, you get to watch everything that goes on. The crazy. Last week, my son plugged the toilet. That was a lot of fun. You guys got to experience that. So, I mean, crazy things happen. That's usually Saturday nights, 8 o'clock Eastern, 8:30. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 9,000, and we'll give away those pillows. And I've got some other stuff I can give away, too, at some point. Guys, really appreciate it. We will see you next week for more game time.
Oh, what a long show. Gotta use the restroom. What are you doing here? Why are you here? Can't you see a guy's gotta do what a guy's gotta... You already had me for 2 hours. Like, I gotta go. Like, this is scary. The fact that you're here. Just go. Get out of here. Go. Lights out. I gotta go. Come on. You gotta go. Go. Now.
You're still here? Go home. It's over. Go.
Just got something to drink up in here, and there's a little bit of orange juice left in. Wait. What are you doing here? Like, listen, there's an arcade one up at. Y'all can stalk me other places. I can't drink orange juice now. Go to bed. Go away. You need something to do. I'm just saying, you don't need to be up in my fridge. Like my fridge of all places. Come on now. Seriously. No, seriously. Go. Like, this kind of stuff to get you reported around here.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.